Who am I? Okay, so my name's Jennifer Robinson-Romkey, and who am I? I have been married for 23 years, almost 23 years. We have a 17-year-old son. Currently, I live in West La Nova Scotia, originally from the Annapolis Valley. We love it here. It's funny how life has a way of taking us on different journeys kind of thing, but I have a varied background in education, and which kind of something happened in my life. My dad died in my second year of university that just shifted my priorities completely. You know, you think you know exactly what you want, and then something happens and all of a sudden you're on a completely different trajectory. And which led me, I still wanted to help people, but I ended up doing it in a different way, different platform. And I ended up being a registered massage therapist for about a decade. Loved it, loved what I could do. It was something that I was really passionate about at the time, but as time crept on, as you do something long enough, you have an opportunity to reevaluate and say, okay, is this really serving me in my life? And to be completely honest, I was giving my health up to give other people their health back. And eventually that became a compromise I was no longer really willing to continue doing, right? It wasn't something I could see myself doing for 30 years. So funny enough, I ended up being introduced to a different little business opportunity, which I thought was a complete joke and totally not interested and not even willing to chat with her. I was truly the bad friend. And, you know, that sort of just died with the first conversation. I was kind of like, talk to the hand. And funny enough, about a month would go by and I saw a spark in her eye that I hadn't felt. It kind of woke something up in me that I just didn't even know really still existed. And I just thought, I got to take a look. I don't even know what this is, but you know, I kind of got to take a look. And I ended up going to this little workshop in somebody's home. And I left there that night completely eyes wide open. And I guess heart wide open. Funny enough, like I literally went there for the glass of wine and piece of cheesecake. And I left there and I just was like, this was like a game changer moment in my life. Going from really skeptical to really open-minded, like when you can do that for somebody, like, okay, something's happened here. But the earth shifted for me. And, you know, I decided to jump in, not necessarily with both feet, but I jumped in nonetheless. And it has been undoubtedly probably the best decision I've ever made in my life, because it's trickled out into every facet of my life. And that would have been probably the most surprising thing to me, but it still has me within the health and wellness sector, which makes me excited. It's all about helping other people really invest in themselves. And that really is what I am so incredibly passionate about, because, and we can chat a little bit more about that, but my health journey from being sick and tired of being sick and tired to transforming that to somebody who has finally lots of energy. And I've been put to the test so many times in my life, and it really has rung true that this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. And hopefully I can share some of my cracks in my lifetime that can maybe shine the light on other people to be willing to look at theirs. So that's kind of what I do.
I
But I, for 7 months, was a full-time 24/7 caregiver for her. And that was a role that I didn't even know you could go to that kind of a brink of exhaustion. Didn't even know that existed. And that was, I guess that was really solidifying for me, that I didn't know that I was investing in myself at a time when I was going to need it later to be prepared for impact. And that has been probably the biggest, I don't know, earth-shaking moment in my life was my mom, because I literally, the caregiving role was insane. And to come through that on the other end and to be that much better for it has been a gift. That's all I can say to that. Yeah. For me, that wish really looks like that people would see the value in investing in themselves and maybe do it sooner. And with a little more tenacity, a little more grit. Because it is really hard sometimes when you start peeling back the layers of the onion, right? It can be really challenging to, I don't know, look at ourselves and accept the stuff that maybe we look at as weaknesses, or the things that we look at as, you know, the not shiny part of the diamond kind of thing. And it really is in the accepting it all and embracing it all, that you have all the answers come to you. And I mean, that's constantly evolving. I think that's why we're here, right? Is to become the best versions of ourselves so that we can pay that forward for other people. And I think at the end of the day, our human experience here on earth, right, is really impacted through our relationships. Nobody lays on their deathbed, right, saying, oh, I wish I'd worked another 10 hours. No, it really comes down to the meaningful connections you've had with other people and those relationships. And I think a lot of that comes from a place where we've worked on ourselves and we recognize we're all imperfect, we're perfectly imperfect, and that gives us the ability to not judge other people so harshly and be more compassionate and more empathetic to other people, that your relationships can be so much more meaningful. And I truly think, I mean, there's so many, I could go on and on about, like, you know, the environment and the earth and all these other things, but I think that for our human experience, I really think that that is a foundational piece to having the most incredible relationships and then having the most incredible experience while you're here, for how brief that might be, or, you know, whatever.